Hi everyone. Welcome to just a few moments of just working a couple of different areas of the body. We're going to do a bit of work in the shoulder because I'm sure all of you are feeling like myself, a little bit of tension in the neck, the upper back, and whether you're working at home, in your office, or at a desk, or whether you're still in the office, carefully working, we can adapt these to wherever we are. And so what we're going to use is a little bit of help from a ball. Yeah, these balls are from the dollar store in the children's section, and I've blown it up so that it is fairly firm. It blows up just with a simple kind of a sports ball pin and pump. You could also use a tennis ball if you have that. I'd be careful about using like a heavy Indian rubber ball. We want it to be a little malleable so that the muscles and the connective tissue are going to respond positively to this. You can hold these postures. If we're working with a softer ball like this one, we could hold them for about 5 minutes or longer, but sometimes we don't have that luxury of holding a position for that long. So we might just hold them until we feel a sense of ease coming back in. We're going to find little hot spots, and then we're going to allow it to just sit there with the pressure until we feel it release, and we're going to move on. So it'll take you maybe about 10 minutes just to kind of do your shoulder. So if you're at home, we can do it on the floor. If we're at work, we can do it against the wall. So I'm going to show you both areas, and we're going to do one little video of the shoulder area, and then I'm going to come back and do another one of the buttocks and the hip area, because that's another area that I'm sure we're all holding a little bit of tension. My name is Barb, and I'm going to take you through this next video coming to you from the Yoga Shala. All right, so let's begin, everyone. We're going to do a little bit of work with the ball, and I'm going to show it to you on the floor first, and then we'll go to the wall. So I'll show some alternatives that you can use. So the muscles around the shoulder are very complex, and we have a lot of them. So we're going to come into, on the floor, we're going to start with some on the back. We're going to get some into the side, and then we're going to come into the front. Okay, and in each one, I'm going to show you the placement on the floor. Then I'm going to get up and I'll show you the placement on the wall, and you can decide what's best for you. Okay, so we're going to begin in the back, and we're going to come just between where your shoulder blade is. You can kind of feel it moving there, and where the actual spine is. Yeah, and we're going to place that ball just in between those 2 points. And as we lie down, you're going to know that you're there when you feel, and runaway ball, it went somewhere. Where did my ball go? Runaway ball. All right. As we lie down, we'll try that one again. We're going to place that ball just down, and you're going to feel just a point that's talking to you. And then we're going to just settle in there. Once you feel that point, I want you just to soften there until you feel it starting to release. Once it goes quiet, you can kind of roll down a little bit to the next part, or you can go up a little bit. You can also go out a little bit, or you can come in towards the spine. We don't want to be lying on the bones themselves. We want to be in between the joints of the spine and the shoulder blade. Okay, so that's how we're going to do it, and you're going to lie there. We're going to spend the next sort of 5 minutes here just kind of going around to each little spot, but I want you to just to soften. Close your eyes, drop into feeling, and just feel how the body will let go there. At first it's going to be tight, and then you're going to let it release. You can stay there. If we're at a work environment where we need to do this against the wall, we can come to a wall and do the same thing. So we're going to place that ball just in between the scapular, the shoulder blade, and the spine. And again, you might just have to move a little bit. You could even do this if you're in a chair. You can have it between the chair and your back. And again, you're just going to find that spot, and you're going to soften there. And as you soften there, you can let the body will maybe want to go, my head naturally wants to move this way. It increases what I'm feeling. And then you're going to soften there. And as we're softening in these areas, I want you to focus on your breath. Just feel the inhalation coming into the body and feel the exhalation moving out of the body. You can close your eyes if you like. And then I felt that spot just kind of soften, so I'm going to change a little bit. And as I just roll, and then I come into another little spot, and I'm going to hang out there. My neck may want to do a little bit of movement, so let it go where it needs to. And we just keep that pressure in there. And as we breathe, just be aware of the inhalation and your exhalation. See if you can even out your exhalation to match your inhalation in length and volume. Amazing how just a few conscious breaths can assist us, not only in just centering the mind, but in just easing the nervous system, just bringing us back to balance. And then as it goes quiet, you're going to roll and just find another little spot. And if you're on the floor, same thing. You're just going to be moving so that you can feel the next point of resistance. And then you're going to just hold there and soften. Allow your body to move as it needs to. So here my head wants to just turn a little bit, and I come to a point of resistance. So I'm just going to hold there until that begins to soften again. And if you've got longer to stay here, you're not going to do yourself a disservice as long as the ball is malleable and is placed between any of the bones, that we're not pressing on a joint, but that we're just allowing some of those muscles who are holding a great deal of tension in all of the connective tissue just to release. We're going to take just another few breaths there. And in this particular position, a very funny one that I'm in right now, I can feel that all the way down the right side of my spine. The muscles that go right down into the back of my right hip. So we see just how incredibly interconnected the tension that we're holding is. Find your inhale and find the exhale, please. And then very gently, we're going to come off of this area. Just slowly coming back up, whether you're on the floor or on the wall. You can gently sit yourselves up just for a moment. Yes, always good to come up and just let the body integrate what we've done, just a little bit of movement. And you'll feel the difference between the two areas. So then we could go to the other side as well. I'm just going to show you the one side, and then you can have this in your toolbox of things to do to just keep ourselves as limber and as supple as we would like to. The next place we're going to go, everyone, is into some very tiny or small muscles called the teres minor and major, which are part of the rotator cuff. We've all heard of these terms. We don't always know what the heck they are or where they are. So these little muscles get very, very tight. They're down in this area. And so you're going to come onto your side if you're working onto the floor for this one. As you place that ball, again, you're going to come into, it's like you're coming into the armpit. So you're going to find, sometimes you have to roll back a little bit as we roll onto it. So there I'm coming into it. And as I find, it's a fairly intense feeling. From there, I'm just going to let my head soften My neck is happy to go here. If it's not, you can also bend your elbow, everyone. That's going to intensify it a little bit, so make a good choice. Or you could use, if you've got a book nearby or a block, you could always use that just to rest your head on if that feels better. Okay, or you could roll a towel. So as we're breathing here, we're just finding again this spot. And if I sit up, I'm just going to show you where I am. Yep, that I'm just into the side of the shoulder blade is what it is, the outer side. We can also do this on the wall, okay? So if we're at work again or in a situation where we can't be on a floor, then you can use your arm on the wall, and as we place right in that area, again, you'll find, and sometimes you have to move a little bit. For me, I need to just let my arm drop so I can feel it on this side. And there it is there. So as I soften in here, you might be moving around still to kind of just feel where is my body holding, because we're all different. And one side is going to be very different than the other. So as I find it again, there we go. Then I'm going to soften. And I'm going to let my head just go where it wants to. And I'm going to come back to focusing on my inhalation and my exhalation. And I want you to do probably about 10 to 15 breaths here. That's about a minimum that you want to do. If you can't do that many, we'll do whatever we can, yeah? But also if you want to stay longer, stay longer. But if we can just give ourselves just a few moments every couple of hours, if we're working at the computer, we can just help the body right itself and bring some ease back in. And if it goes quiet in that area, you can either stay or you can move a little bit so that you come into another little area. And again, you could stay here for as long as you like. I'm going to just move on to the last area so that you've got a nice little package to work with. So we're going to come off. So we've worked the back now, we've worked the side, and now we're going to work the front into the pectoral muscles. So again, we can work on the floor, we can work on the wall. I'll start on the floor. So the pectoral muscles, we have the major, which is a very big muscle, and coming into the upper arm. We also have pec minor, which comes up and under the clavicle area, and it's a small but mighty and nasty one when it gets tight. So we'll begin on the floor, and then I'll come to the wall as well. Down, we're going to allow, and again, all of us are going to feel this slightly differently. So this arm can just be down at your side, and we're going to be mindful where we're placing the ball, obviously. As we come down onto that ball, your left hand can just support you. And because I know my tightness well, I've come right on to the spot, and that's where we're going to just settle in there. And I want you to completely surrender. Now, if the ball is too hard, you're going to know it because the body's going to hold you up and you're not going to be able to release. So we need a ball that has a little bit of malleability into it so that the body will trust to let go. And so as we find that area again, at least 10 to 15 breaths. As it goes quiet, you can kind of adjust a little bit. Some of you will want to come higher up towards your collarbone. Some will want to go further out towards the upper arm bone. So just kind of see where those points are. And again, if we're working at the wall, we'll have a look at how we do that. So again, I'm going to just face the wall. I'm going to have my arm down, and I'm going to just allow myself to come in to that area once again. And there it is there. Yeah. So now I can just use my weight. My feet are slightly further away from the wall, and I'll come in and we can get into those points that are holding tension. And as we breathe there again, 10 to 15 breaths, or you could stay here for as long as you can find the time to do so, and just softening into it. The longer we stay in these postures, again, working with a malleable ball and making sure that we are not sitting the ball on a joint, but that we are just onto the soft tissue. Probably one of the greatest ways that we can release tension in the body. And if you have time just to do one side now, and then maybe do the other side on your next break, then we give the body just that fighting chance, to come back to just doing what it needs to do and serving us in the way that we are always demanding it to. So until next time, everyone, keep well. Namaste.